Welcome to Charts Today, US Open. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Monday, the 26th of November, comes to you from London. And markets mostly up today. We've seen the US futures have been up quite sharply. The Nasdaq E-mini has been sitting up about 1.4% all day in Europe, so we've seen the US opening higher. Just taking a quick look at currencies, fairly small moves here. The dollar actually on the dollar index is little changed against the euro. The euro is actually up slightly. Against the yen, the dollar is looking very strong, so we tend to see that follow through against other currencies as a bit of a lead with the yen. And we're seeing the sterling actually, we're seeing just ticking up a little bit against the dollar as well, but against the euro fairly flat. Bitcoin is down another 4.5%, so we're down at $3,700. Spare a thought for the buyers at the high teens and nearly $20,000. So Bitcoin has really fallen out of bed, and we're seeing that sell-off now continue, and we've got further downside targets. Well, one as low as nearly $2,000. So anything seems possible. The markets have opened up, as we've said. The Dow looking a little bit better. The UK market is up just under 1%, and the mid caps in the UK up just under 2/3%. The DAX in Germany looking strong, up 1.3%, and the CAC Quarant up 0.75%. Asia was mostly up, and we're seeing crude oil holding gains today about 2.8%. But after a very big week, last week, we see the big fall here in that candle. So that's actually quite a big move down. Taking a look at some of the other markets, if we look to first of all, the UK, we see FTSE is a sea of green, not many fallers. Melrose is the worst, down 6.7%. Just Eat down 3.3%. So we are seeing a lot of charts in that bearish territory still. Premier Oil in the mid caps up 9.5%, so that's looking stronger, but again has had a dire time of late. And we're seeing still quite a lot of fallers in the index as well. And in Europe, Tele to AB up 8.7%, so that's looking strong. And on the other end of the scale, we've got Arab Sagi in Germany down 8%. So it's not all up, and we're seeing a lot of charts in this bearish mode still. Taking a look at the US Open, we start by looking at, well, we can look at the indices first of all, and this data all coming from Yahoo Finance. We see the S&P up 1.2%, the Nasdaq up 1.4%, so looking stronger there. But again, these charts are pretty dire. The trend relative to the Dow, we see how tech has really underperformed the last few months. And if we look, the Dow is actually up 1.3% today. So really a strong opening in the US, but still the charts are looking pretty terrible. The big ones to watch are Apple. Apple's up 0.75%, was down 2.5% on Friday. So this is a case of just gaining back some of the territory lost, but really Apple has really had a very bad performance, more than 20% underperformance in the last couple of weeks. So we've really seen Apple falling away, which is bearing heavily on the market as the biggest stock. Looking at Amazon, up 2% today, so faring better there. Google up 1.4%, so again still bearish on that medium-term chart. And if we look to some of the other stocks, Facebook had a terrible time on Friday, is right back at 131. It's up 2% this morning, but in the 130s, and long-term bearish, one of the few charts in tech that's right below its cloud. And we're seeing targets of 105, 108, so still potential to fall another 20% for Facebook, so that's still quite a worry. Microsoft are up just under 2%, and if we look at Netflix, they're down actually about 0.5% today, and Tesla actually up just over 1%. So we are seeing quite a strong performance from some of the tech companies. Looking at the Dow, we see most stocks in the Dow up. We can actually just rank by performance. American Express, the financials looking very strong. American Express, Goldman Sachs, all up over 2%. Johnson & Johnson, the lone stock down in the Dow. And looking at the S&P 500 index, again, just ranking by performance, we see Wynn Resorts up 5%, CVS Health up 4.2%. And at the other end of the scale, we do still have some stocks down about 2%. Well, we've got Micron Technology down 1.5%. So it's a strong opening, and most stocks are looking better today. But the trend's still very much down for a lot of these stocks. That's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.